Okay, welcome to episode 2 of the Stanley Parable. We're going to see what happens when we play through it a little bit differently this time. Oh, I didn't notice that. You notice the cursor? That it's moving on every single monitor. That's pretty weird.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yes, we've all seen this. All right. Now we'll start looking again for all the people that aren't here again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Everything looks pretty much the same.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It tells you to enter the door on your left this time.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, sure, why not? That sounds like a good idea. Still nobody here, though. Of course, you can't get in any of the doors.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Well, we can always get a soda, right? Right?
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Yes, that is possible.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nope. Is this a broom closet again? Ooh.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Really? Well, we could take the elevator.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Left, okay. Yeah, sure.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Oh, sorry.
No,
not right.
The right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Ah. Okay. Can we take the truck? Nope, we can't do anything. How about turning the generator on or off? Nope, nope, can't do it. Have to go down through the strange, otherworldly basement. Ah!
No! No! No, 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 no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
Close, eyes closed. Yeah.
Oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
Okay. Take 3.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What time is
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
11:30.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh,
Back to where it was, yeah.
change. Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Shall we then? Okay, well, how about this way? Ooh, the doors don't close behind me anymore. Inner guilt. Everyone knows what you did. They're just holding back to let you torture yourself.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Sure, why not?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm sure I've missed the memo. I'm sure I've missed many memos. Okay. Now there are no doors.
It's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay, sure. I don't see anything in there. How about this? Nope. That one? Nope. Somebody spilled some coffee. Ah, somebody's got construction going on. You can't get in there, though. Alright. Nope. Was that box tipped over before? I don't remember.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Really? I don't remember this hallway here before. Oh, good. It's an infinite...
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Yes, into the back hallway. Wow, this place could use some fixing up.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all.
Me neither.
Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! Yay. I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
This is definitely different than it was before, so... Okay, adventure line.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way,
basically.
Is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Now I'm in a Monty Python film.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
What fern? Oh,
Stanley,
that fern.
This fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
All right, that's enough.
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
No, of course.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
How about this way? We haven't gone this way before. I don't think. Maybe we have gone this way. I don't remember. Ah! Yes.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
And again.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
What direction? Ah, that direction. Sure, why not? Uh-oh.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story
Literally.
to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
Walking around
I'm
in
ready
circles
for it.
Forever? That's what it looks
Oh,
Whoa,
no,
hell.
not you again. Stanley,
Whoa.
I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Sure. Yeah, don't acknowledge it. Don't look at it. Look at the wall instead. Yeah, that's it. Oh! It's all over. It's everywhere. Oh, crap. Huh. We got away from it, finally. And got into it.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Okay. Sure, why not?
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're
Well,
trying
yeah,
to
that's
go,
logical.
there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Don't open the door into me. Ah!
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending.
Fifth,
You're
you've been
telling
playing
me
the Oh,
that's what this is?
and that's true.
It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes?
After a long
It's
time,
all
Stanley dies.
Determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
All right.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something
I'm
happen?
going to sit down. Except that I
So-
can't sit down.
Okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll
In the
find out, won't
destination?
we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
Well,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
now I'm going to the right door this time. Because that's where the meeting room is.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Aha!
Although this passageway had the word Escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Really?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Okay, so we did die. I figured then, well, not necessarily.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
I regret that I have but one life to give to the story.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Strangely enough, I don't feel dead. This is a big room.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
A sex change, obviously.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Yep, those are all the paintings that are in the game. Stanley's computer. Office layout. The blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. This corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the 2 doors in a good time. They're playing solitaire. Employee database. I can't read that. The office. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Okay, sure, why not? Credits. The impeccable Kevin Brightning as the narrator. However, the clock is actually moving forward. Scenes from the development of the boss's office. Yes, when the boss's office was just drywall. Nothing like being in a museum. Underground. An early version of the underground portion of the game. Oh god. Somebody's talking in there. I'll go out and see if I've... Ah. Freedom ending. This was the very first incarnation of the freedom ending in the game's alpha. Aha. Countdown desks. One of the desks from an early version of the countdown ending. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down and placed the two endings together instead. Countdown room. An earlier version of the countdown room. That looks like a theater. Game design mock-up. This is the level that the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game, though much of the development and the environment has changed. The basic layout from this mock-up is still in the game. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in November 2011, the second in March 2012, and the third in February of 2013. Yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like now. Early version of the lounge. The office. Subject. I can't read that. Transfer of $24,500,000 to what? Narrator emails. After the second trailer, we sent out what we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we have never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those emails. And too bad they're unreadable. I wanted to tell you, I like the Stanley Parable as much as I like seeing a email. The Stanley Parable HD remix. Greenlight. In September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process of approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which were still enough to win the community's approval. That looks vaguely like Tron. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Alien base. An early version of the maintenance room. And here we're back again. So let's go into those rooms that we missed before.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room? Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you. And finally, he pushed the
Exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
And?
time
Well, let's wait and see if anything actually happens. Well, this looks like a good time to stop and begin the game again with a new episode later on. So, hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you later.